And I'm Russ.
And we're with Michaela.
Join us in the adventure to save Africa's wildlife.
Beautiful morning, albeit chilly. We're all packed up and we're off to FreeMeKZN.
Have a new director there that we got to know Roz many years ago, and unfortunately she's not there anymore. I have to find out what happened.
Right, and see what's new. Apparently they've made some changes, so we're about to discover them.
Yep.
This FreeMe is positioned in an interesting place. It's right here next to this, one of the Ambers. This is, I think, Amber Lee, which is a huge retirement community. And if I remember right, this property was donated by the developers for the Rescue Rehab Center.
Well, this, along with the other developments around here, has become a real retirement area.
Right, and over there, this is FreeMe, right across the way here, on these bushes. Beautiful spot, especially on a day like today where the sun is pouring down and it's gorgeous. They've got some of the houses built back there. I think they built those for their students. We're going to talk to Wade, who's the new director. Oh, they've got a new sign there, no public viewing, so he said we could come in as his special guests today. So they're limiting now.
Oh, looks like they've got a good mole population.
Oh, the mole population. Oh, look, there's some geese, some storks. Oh, they've got a new thing back here, a new enclosure back here too. Here we are, FreeMeKZN. You think big.
No, absolutely. It's got to be global. You've got to give back. You've got to add value, and you've got to enrich lives. If you don't do that, why are you doing it? And essentially, what you're talking about, yes, we're a wildlife rehabilitation centre, but we're actually about people. It's as simple as that. And everyone was a bit shocked when I said that, especially the staff. And I said, well, think about it. Who brings the animal in, and why do they bring it in?
Because they care.
Okay, and now you're taking it from them, and they're trusting you
Exactly.
with that animal, and the animal's trusting you as well, and you've got to take it to the next point, wherever that might be. Not all of them make it, but right to the end, it's all about people. It's about the people involved. It's touching lives. It's the communication you put out there, be it on Facebook, be it talking like I'm talking to you. Now, it doesn't matter how you do it. It's all about connecting people and conservation. So this is just one vehicle of conservation. There's many.
What's that?
You link these things. So you've got to say, how does agriculture fit here? How do our local communities fit here?
And how does the poverty impact us all?
Absolutely. So how can you actually add value to those people's lives? You can't operate in isolation and say, no, yes. You've got to bring them all together, merge them and say, right, how are we working together as a team? How can you add value? You might not have the money. You might not even have food and clothing or housing. But how can we help each other? So that's the approach we've got to have.
That's right, and how do you fit into this big picture that as you save wildlife, you're saving yourselves and you're contributing to this whole instead of just looking out for yourself?
Well, isn't that conservation?
Well, it is. Well, conservation is
picture.
very holistic.
Yeah,
it's whole
absolutely.
ecosystems. It's everything. We can't separate one from the other. Where have you been all this time?
Well, it's interesting because now there's an internship program we're running now. See, we've got a big challenge in our internship program at the moment where we're standing. That's for next year. This is the 2-week. So they'll come in starting on the 9th of January, do a 2-week stint, and they've got to be enriched. They can't imagine sitting in this cage for 8-9 months. What are you going? How are you going to learn life skills? How are you going to, that kind of thing. So taking a chicken egg and you crack it, for example, and you give it in for a jackal. Because if you give a jackal a whole egg for the first time, especially a pup that's never seen one, he doesn't know what to do with it. So you crack it so he gets the taste and the smell. And when he gets it once, he's on his way. He'll find eggs in the cup and be able to eat eggs. So that kind of thing, it's all the stimulation that you've got to think of. I mean, if you're working on certain things, you need to know when you phone the vet what is broken on a bat, a bird, whatever it might be. So now you've got the guys working and they're saying, gosh, the patagium is actually torn, which is the skin on the bat's wing. We're now ringing sapling. We've got all the sapling wings that are recorded. Egyptian goslings in here at the moment. Okay, so when they're all able to fend for themselves in the weather, they come to these aviaries here. Out of the clinics into these aviaries. Then when they are ready to fly and go, that means they've got to exercise, get fit first so they can do their things. They get ringed. So we got Karen Nelson, who's a professional bird ringer. She comes in every week, and every single bird that can be released gets a ring. And they get released either from here or at a selected site, depending on the species and where they came from, whatever it might be here.
When they're tagged, then
you know that animal came from FreeMe, it's still alive, look at the condition. Some people take photos for us. We've got trail cameras set up on certain reserves that we release on. And that whole process is monitored, and Kirsten does phone calls every week to certain animals that have been released, or we visit the sites and we actually go and do the monitoring ourselves. But we're just not big enough as a team yet to do that. But when the interns are here, we can use them to do stuff like that, and all that feedback comes back onto the database. And it's all about, you're going to get your hands dirty, guys. This is about a working holiday, it's an internship. So yeah, these are going to have a bunk bed and a single bed, so you could sleep.
If you're all about people, it's the experience that changes a lot.
it's exciting. That was, total surprise.
Talk about, we thought we were going to go there and find some old tired guy who is going to try and keep things together, and we stumble across a man who has a tremendous vision of how to make things work that's actually very, very reasonable, and with a passion that's just unheard of.
And energy,
And a philosophy based on Stephen
Covey.
Covey's team and
Seven Habits.
And all of it's just absolutely amazing. It's one of those situations where you say, I knew him when, because this is going to go crazy.
I hope so. I think, he's got a lot of experience in the wildlife industry, and obviously has this business background and philosophy of running this like a business from the positive sense of it, not exploiting the animals, but the contrary, growing it so that it'll actually work very well.
Well, and he says it's all about people as well. It's not just the animals. It's a holistic thing of people, community, environment. We may have just met the Gandhi of
wildlife.
2016.
Come along, join us. Join the adventure. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Michaela Wildlife.